Trying to get it.
Okay, basically when I painted this, I liked the colors. I just felt that it was really boring when it was finished. So what I'm doing is I'm just going with a gel pen and I'm just sort of outlining blocks of color as I see them. You can do this as much or as little as you want. So I have already done some. Obviously I'm not going to make you guys bored by waiting watching while I do the whole thing. You'll get the idea. I'll show you a before and after at the end, just so that you can see what I'm doing. I'm taking a gel pen and just looking for different areas of color that I can highlight. I do like sweeping lines. It brings some movement into the piece. And you're going to vary the line length and the shapes. It ends up looking something like a map, which is I always find very interesting. You don't have to be precise, just give it an idea. And the advantage of this technique is that it does add extra interest. And when you're using a lot of colors, like I'm using here, I love colors, is that they can tend to look a little bit disjointed initially. The lines make things seem cohesive. As I said, I'm just using a plain Gelly Roll pen here because I like the nib thickness, but you can experiment with different line lengths and thicknesses and different tools. When I'm working with a canvas, I'll usually use a paint marker, which tends to have a little bit of a thicker nib because the Gelly Roll skips on the canvas. You don't get such good lines. I have tried a lot of different pens, and I've got to say the Gelly Roll is more expensive, but it is worth it because the other pens just don't do it. But look, give it a try. Kmart's got some really nice acrylic gel pens too, which work well. I'm using white here. I have tried different colors. For example, I've used gold, which is really pretty. That said, I do find I prefer the white. It's more striking. With the gold, it does give a nice bit of glitter, but it's not really as obvious as the white. I've tried different colors like blue and green, and it's just not the same. It just really doesn't lend itself to this technique as well as the white. But look, do see what you've got at home and play with what you've got at home. If you've got a ballpoint pen, go for it, see what happens. You never know. I mean, worst comes to worst, you can always just start again on something else. This is an A4 piece of, it's on 300 gram cardstock. So, and it's a smooth texture, which is ideal for using the gel pen. If you're using a rough textured, like a watercolor paper, you might want to switch to a paint marker just to get that smooth result. But yeah, play with what you've got at home. I'm going to love your Neve now, and I'll come back and just do it before and afterwards.